Low in-calf and high empty rates are a problem in many Northland dairy herds. ReproRock is a DairyNZ initiative designed to help farmers focus on ways of improving herd reproductive performance.
The ReproRock program is about empowering farmers to be making the right decisions on the farm so that they get good herd reproductive performance. The background to the program is that when we did a needs survey sometime back in Northland, herd reproductive performance was top of the list in terms of the things that are limiting profitability on the farm. So as such, in being responsive to that need, the DairyNZ team conceived the ReproRock concept, which is essentially identifying farmers that have made incremental gains within their herd reproductive performance, farmers like Matt and Kushla Smith, and then document those cases. And once we have a case study together, have the farmers relate their experience to other farmers at the field day.
The farm itself here is 134 hectares, plus we lease another 70 hectares that we also milk off. For the past 3 seasons we've calved down 450 to 460 cows. Last year we milked all our 2-year-olds on once a day. It was the first year we brought 2-year-olds into the herd, so we had about 150 on once a day. This year we've kept those 2-year-olds as this year's 3-year-olds on once a day, along with this year's 2-year-olds, if that makes sense. So we've got a bigger mob of about 200 cows on once a day and 250 on twice a day. It was the first year last year we brought in young stock, and our theory was, we're not too heavily stocked. We're at about 2.2 cows per hectare and we should be able to feed them, and that shouldn't be a problem, but it was pretty quick to see running a whole one herd system that they lost weight pretty quickly after calving, got pushed to the back of the herd, didn't get the molasses, didn't get the fresh grass, and lost weight fairly quickly. So a month out from mating, we sort of thought, well, we've got to do something, so we separated them to a separate mob and put them on once a day, and from there, within a month they sort of had put back on about a condition score and were happy as Larry. Each year for the past 4 years we've increased production every year. The first year we were back here managing, we obviously got hit with that big drought, and now we're back in drought again, but probably a bit better prepared this time, and if anything the once a day sort of helped us through, and we should hit last year's production. We're sort of on track for that. Last year was a record season, so with more on once a day and plus 10 hectares out for maize this year, which was our first year growing maize, we should hit last year's production.
Cow condition's good. Our average is quite high, so in Northland we're managing the feed consistently because we're exposed to all the extremes. So we sit down year to year and do a feed budget for the year. We monitor that with our pasture growth. I walk the farm every fortnight. We relate that back into what our demand is with the cows and where we need to fill the gaps, the deficits with feed brought in, palm kernel or maize grown on farm.
So there's essentially 3 graphs there. So the first graph shows you what round length you should be on.
What I've picked up from doing all the pasture walks and feed budgeting is that we're on a very fine line, and we're just getting better and better. The more that we put in time-wise into feed budgeting and pasture walks and monitoring and knowing what our deficits are and just watching what happens with the growth, that we can just alter it and always give the cows a consistent quality of feed, which therefore comes back in our vat. So year on year, as Kushla said before, we've put more cows on once a day, but we've actually increased our production.
Up, girls. Up. There's 8 factors that affect herd reproductive performance, and key among them are body condition score and nutrition, getting heifers to target live weights, and also being spot on with heat detection. So these guys have identified those 3 key areas as being important to improving herd reproductive performance for the herd, and they've been working particularly hard focusing on them, focusing on that body condition score at calving, so that the cows are at target body condition score of no less than 4 at mating. And they've been doing that by paying particular attention to how they manage their feed, doing the monitoring, making sure that cows are adequately fed and that they are at target condition score at calving.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.